Well, let's look at this. Let's shift gears. Let's look at this philosophically. Um, when you when you think of basically with everything that you were just kind of saying there, there's almost a contradiction. And what I mean by that is, well, let's use a little bit of corporate speak. In a sense, a politician has a fiduciary relationship to who they represent and basically the general public. And for those of you who don't know, when I say fiduciary responsibility, it's usually directed towards directors of a company, and it's because a fiduciary responsibility is basically they have a responsibility to act reasonably and in good faith for the shareholders of the company, for the employees of the company, and that sort of thing. So,
Mm,
using that sort of terminology, they should, politicians, with who they represent within the general community, they have they should be representing them, or at least doing things in their best interests, whatever sort of policies that they table in Parliament and that sort of thing.
mm,
But that is directly in opposition with the campaign trail, with running for office. That say you have policy X and policy Y. Policy X might be more applicable to the community. For example, say something as bold as a universal basic income. That would be really important to a working class area. But then you have policy Y, which is let's say, I noticed that there's a whole bunch of teachers in my area. Um, I have this really good policy about, hey, I'm going to implement 10,000 teacher jobs in the local area. I'm
mm,
not saying that policy X and policy Y, one's worse than the other, but the thing is, policy Y is a lot easier to sell to the public.
mm,
And also, it's a lot easier for them to digest. So the the politician is incentivized to go for the less controversial one, even though um, if they fought for it, and maybe if we had a scenario where the media was less biased, for example,
mm.
um, they would actually opt for the universal basic income
Yeah,
because
yeah. Well,
it's
and that's
yeah.
what I'm saying as well.